Happy Monday. Oh, they're all so beautiful. So beautiful. Talking to myself. So it's bagpipes versus crack pipes. Hunter Biden has finally put some pants on and is now suing Delaware repair shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac. What happened to George and Ringo? A lot of names. He's being sued for invasion of privacy. Yes, Hunter is suing him for invasion of privacy. Hunter, who's been seen nude by more people than the statue of David. Honestly, in the last year, I've seen this guy's genitals more times than his primary care physician. And I would get that checked out. He's invaded my privacy, the privacy of my own nightmares. As you know, Mr. Mac Isaac claimed Hunter dropped off a laptop for repair in April 2019 and then never came back. Mac Isaac even has an invoice with Hunter's signature, although those pages are stuck together. But for once, Hunter signed on a line instead of snorting it. The laptop contained not only salacious photos and videos of the naughtiest little Biden cavorting with hookers and crack, but also copious evidence of the Biden family's massive international corruption. Specifically, the family received over $1 million from accounts linked to Hunter's Chinese business associates. And finally, even CNN admits that, on a certain level, just as a layperson, you hear this and it doesn't sound good.
On a certain level, just as a layperson, you hear this, and it doesn't sound good. There's a guy whose name is John Robinson Walker. He gets $3 million from a Chinese-based company and proceeds to wire it out to a bunch of people named Biden, one of whom is Hunter Biden. Another one is a company that belongs to the president's brother, James Biden, and another amount of money to Beau Biden's widow, Hallie. So, again, from a layperson, that doesn't look good.
She's a layperson. She's a layperson twice. Of course, the Biden 2020 campaign and every liberal journalist in the world insisted without evidence that the laptop's contents were Russian disinfo, when really the only thing Russian on that laptop were probably the hookers.
Hunter Biden, this laptop that intelligence officials have warned is likely Russian disinformation.
Are tied to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
Could actually be part of Russia's latest and very massive disinformation campaign.
U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
It's sort of a crazy quilt at this point, which has all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation.
Oh, a crazy quilt with all the hallmarks. Sounds like something Don Lemon wears on spring break. Of course, that disinfo claim was ridiculous to begin with. I mean, what was the theory supposed to be anyway? That Putin set up a fake computer repair shop in Wilmington? Just on the remote chance that a decade later, a presidential candidate's crackhead son would stumble inside and abandon a bunch of juicy evidence that might swing a presidential election. That conspiracy theory is as thin as Joe's hair on his head. But also, Hunter wouldn't sue anybody for violating his privacy if it's fake evidence planted by the Ruskies, right? And now all the news outlets that push the Russia disinfo lie are just pretending they never made that claim, which suggests that Joe's dementia was always more contagious than COVID. So, you know what I've noticed lately? We were right about everything. And by we, I mean me, also you. If you agree with me, if you don't, go screw yourself. Yes. Let's go over a few other stories we nailed that the rest of the media didn't. For example, TikTok is indeed spying on us for the Chinese government. I wouldn't applaud that. Now, I'm not on TikTok for obvious reasons. First, I'm not a 14-year-old girl yet. Still waiting for the puberty blockers. But if I were, the Chinese government would be doing to me what they're doing to other American girls, messing with their heads. But also, I don't want the Chinese Communist Party watching me while I'm alone in my apartment. I mean, what if Taylor Swift realizes I did keep her sweatshirt? But that Chi-Com spy app has rapidly become an essential part of American life. Or at least Gretchen Whitmer's advisors think so.
These are my ladies. This is Jill. This is my lady Amy. Little Susie. Brianna. You know why we call her Brianna, right? No? It's a long story. Shaniqua. Helga. Miss Kitty. Jeannie. I dream of
Well, you know, that's one way to keep the kidnappers at bay. By making them nauseous. But Dems love their TikTok, and they're distraught that the White House might ban it, because now Joe, finally admitting that China is our enemy, they planted a spy on every cell phone in America, and it's not racist now to notice that. Just the name of the app alone kind of gave it away. TikTok, as in time is running out on your world dominance, America. Speaking of China, COVID-19, yes, was a lab leak. Not too long ago, you weren't even allowed to speculate that the virus was made by human hands, especially the tiny ones of Anthony Fauci, when he wasn't practicing his autograph.
A fairly large group of very well-respected evolutionary virologists have come to the conclusion, not definitively by any means, but feeling that it is much more likely that it is a natural occurrence from an animal to a human. However, since it hasn't been definitively proven, we've got to keep a completely open mind.
Oh, okay, so now it's okay to have an open mind. Because remember, it wasn't before, you know, it was bat soup, or you're a racist. So there's an entire multi-billion-dollar industry devoted to dismissing everything we say, and those accusing us follow a pattern. They first define our opinions as not worthy of debate, using disinformation as a smear, and if that doesn't work, they call it hate speech. But we were right. They pretend they're the ones who are right all along instead. It's as if they're so dumb, they think all they have to do is repeat, "That's not true."
It is not going to be. That is not true. That is actually not true. No, it's actually not true.
Joy,
it's actually not true. It's actually not. But it's actually not true.
Financial community.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true.
Will go and solve
That's actually not true.
Those are the facts.
That's not true.
Should we not
that is
prepare
not
for
true.
that?
It's like she's reading her old bigoted blog posts to her gay friends. So the liberal media has a huge blind spot. It's called the truth. And no matter how many times they get it wrong and try to silence us for saying so, they still expect us to trust them. So once in a while, it feels nice to bask in being proven right. If vindication were chocolate cake, I'd look like this guy. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He gets carded when buying root beer. Host of the Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson. I think we use that. After the Ford Mustang, she's Michigan's favorite two-door. Former Michigan GOP candidate for governor, Tudor Dixon. Airlines try to charge him for the bags under his eyes. Comedian Jim Broomer. And she's like a paperclip, light, wiry, and barely trying to keep it together. Fox News contributor, Cat Tube. Guy, thank you for taking a break from reading children's books to orphans. Doesn't he look like you should be reading like a little book about the little engine that could?
Oh, I thought that was a drag joke.
Are you amazed how right I am on everything, and maybe that's why I am your role model?
You are inspirational, Greg. No one's ever doubted that. So this new allegation about the documents, and now even more Bidens were getting money, I guess, from China. I saw the president was asked about this over the weekend, and he stood there and he was confused, and then they explained it to him, and then he put on this little grin and he said, "That's not true." Sort of like Joy Reid, actually. That's not true. That was his whole rebuttal. And I've been thinking about this, and I believe him.
Oh, really?
I believe him. His word as a Biden means a lot to me, Greg. And he's told us nothing but the truth about this stuff so far, right? He told Peter Doocy 2 summers ago that he knew nothing about any of the foreign business dealings of his son. That's obviously correct. He told us that the laptop was Russian disinformation. I mean, yes, he's right again. So he's, in my mind, he's 3 for 3. And he's basically like George Washington reincarnate, and I believe him.
Fantastic. So basically, you're saying, yes, Greg, I'm right on everything.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I need.
That's the upshot.
Thank you. Tudor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I wish you weren't here and instead governor.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yes.
So you're right.
Yeah, there you go. See? See, that's how it works. See how that works? That's why I'm seated here and you're over there in that dad sweater. Where do you see the Hunter Biden thing going? Is this something where, like, sometimes I wonder if we're just mirroring what they did with Trump, where you just keep saying the walls are closing in, the walls are closing in. They never close in.
No, I see this. I see a lot of feminists rising up because we see this coming out. And of course, the woman gets paid the least.
Yes.
I mean, give me a break.
Yes.
Like with 30 grand?
Yeah,
Nice.
I know.
30 grand to sleep with Hunter? What?
Yeah, if it were, yes, exactly. That was all, what, 30 grand? That's how much he paid Hallie Biden.
That's what I read.
Right. I think Stormy Daniels got like 10 times that, right? See? If you're going to compare them, at least Trump's a big spender. Here's the thing, okay? We're talking about all these transactions. What's missing in the entire story is who paid taxes. Like, isn't that the easiest way to figure this stuff out? If there was $1 million, they split it 3 ways, the check comes in, they have to pay taxes on it.
That's right, but you know the Chinese probably paid the taxes for them. I mean, they're welcoming them in right now.
Yeah.
You know, just pay the taxes for us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look happy.
I am happy.
You're always happy.
The story cracks me up.
Yeah. What makes you laugh about it?
Well, just the whole pitch. How did it get from? Yeah, no, I know there's hookers on there. I know some of them may have been underage. I know I might have sold some documents, like selling missiles, but it's private. Doesn't that mean anything anymore? I mean, God, dead animals, but it's private. Yes, there's people tied up in the trunk, but it's private.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, it was amazing that before, I mean, it was interesting when it first came out. It was like he was the one who didn't say anything.
He always looked lost. Like,
Yeah. And there's that's a pretty good.
Sorry, I was
Aren't you
mugging to the
jealous?
camera.
Aren't you jealous of Hunter? Or I'm just jealous that there's a family member in somebody's family that makes money rain, that makes it rain for you. Like he's just out getting. Wouldn't you like a sibling like that?
He's just here's 1 million, 2 million.
Almost literally.
Oh, I'm in Ukraine. Oh, I'm in China board. I don't know any of this. This is amazing. Thanks, Dad.
I just want to point out to the producers that he's actually imitating milking a cow.
Yes, this is milking cow.
He was not doing a video. That's amazing you people even know what I'm talking about. You're not even supposed to laugh at that stuff. It's supposed to go over your head.
You guys are sick.
They are sick. Pretty funny when they walk out as the Hannity audience walks in. It's like that scene in the Poseidon Adventure when they walk past each other. So, Kat, we actually are right. Nobody gives us credit. So I have to do this all the time. Are you happy that I get to say that I'm right all the time now? That I'm being vindicated?
Except for the times when you're not right.
I say I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Not here, though. What makes it more irritating is like this family, this Biden family, they love being rich.
Yeah.
And they love getting more rich. Mm-hmm. But then they also don't want me to ever get rich.
Yeah.
I'm making money through going to work at a job.
Yeah.
Like the normal way. And they're like, well, actually, you need to give me your fair share of that money you earned. I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
You have, and you're doing all this, and it's like China, the Saudi government, and it's Ukraine, all these different things, and it's like you're doing all this shady stuff because you love being rich, and yet there's no such thing as your fair share of my money that I am earning in the legal, normal way.
And also, none of us here. Well, none of us here have foolproof investment strategies. Like, we lose money, they don't. We're only privy to certain kinds of investments, like the stock market, which terrifies me. I invested in stupid stuff, but this is 1,000% return. In fact, there is no return because you're not putting any money in. It's just coming to you.
Here's the foolproof solution, Greg. Change your last name to Biden. Legally.
Gutfeld gets you nothing.
Biden exclamation point starting tomorrow, and the money just flows in.
This is why I'm not having kids. I always say, no kid's gonna sponge off my last name. If I could not sponge off of Gutfeld, right? No kid's gonna sponge off me.
But
Hunter
rather
said
than
the same thing.
rather than being the big guy, though, you would be the little guy.
Ugh. That was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. We had a nice segment. Everybody was getting along. we have a new panelist here, and then he comes on here and has to insult the host in front of a new guest. I'm okay with it, but we're going to talk about it after the show, and you know where.
You come after my sweater.
Yes.
I'm going to fire back.
Yes. By the way, you're wearing it inside out. Okay.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.